Good morning, boys and girls. I hope everyone is doing great this morning. And we're going to listen to the third section of our Keraza 2020 materials. So today we're going to learn about Josiah. So you're going to say, well, wait a minute, how come you look like that? What is that on your head? Well, this is a crown. And it's fitting for me to wear this crown today for this lesson because Josiah is a king. So this is probably kind of something like what he wore on his head, but I'm sure it's a lot better than what I have. So Josiah, just want to let you know that he was a little boy. He was a little boy and he had this wonderful mommy who taught him everything about God. And you know what? Josiah started to really love God that way. So, you know, when our mommies and our daddies and our tatas and gittos, they tell us about God, we have to perk up our ears because it's very important and it's going to help us throughout our lives knowing all about God. So Josiah, one day he was king. All of a sudden he found himself to be king and he said, what? I'm supposed to be king now? I'm only 8 years old. But you know what? With God, everything is possible. And if God helps you, you're going to do great in anything. So Hilkiah, the priest, was helping Josiah. He said, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm going to help you. And with God's help, you're going to be a good king. So he was fine that way. And so he was looking at all his people, that they were good people. They were listening to God and worshiping God until one day he noticed, wait a minute, what is everybody doing? These are not God things that they're worshiping. These are idols. And so Josiah felt really bad and he said, I can't believe this. So he said, what am I going to do to get my people back to worshiping the real God? So God put it in his head to get rid of these idols. So he told all his soldiers, I want you just to go and just smash them. Just get rid of them. I don't want my people to see them because they're coming away from God. And that's never a good thing, right? When we start to stray from God, that is never a good thing. So his soldiers, what do you think they said? They said, okay, we're going to do exactly like that. So they did. They went around all the temples and destroyed those idols. And there were so many of them. And then, what do you think happened? Hilkiah found something really interesting and important, it turns out, in one of the temples. When the soldiers were destroying the idols, he found this very old book, and it's called the Book of the Law. And he looked through it and he said, wow, this is amazing. Can't believe I found this. So he said, I'm going to send this off to the king. So who was the king again? I'm just testing to see if you remember his name. It's Josiah. So he sent off the Book of the Law to Josiah. And it turns out that that book has been missing and was lost for years. And now it's found. So that's great. It was found. And Josiah called all the elders of the church. And he said, you know what? We all need to see this. So everyone gathered around. And he read that book to the elders. And the elders were so happy to hear about it. And they started worshiping God. And all the people in his kingdom started worshiping God again. And the idols were no more. They were all destroyed. Remember who destroyed them? Josiah's soldiers. So here is a Bible verse that talks about this. And it is found in the book of Psalm It says, I do not forget your precepts. Okay, you're going to say, what is precepts? I've never heard about that word. Well, I know there's lots of big words in the Bible, but not to worry, because we will go over each and every one of them. It's very important that you understand what you're hearing and what you're learning. So, precepts means kind of like understanding. I do not forget your understanding. I do not forget your teachings. And now when they hear forget, it's not just like, oh, I forgot. Something you forgot and will remember later. No, I do not forget means I will not ever not believe what your laws are, and I will always follow them. That's what that means. I do not forget your teachings, in other words. So I do not forget your precepts in the book of Psalm 119. And that's very important to know, and try to remember it and memorize it if you can, because it's all important. So what did we learn today? That even as a little kid, you can do great things and important things, just like Josiah. So how old was he again when he had to be the king? He was 8. Now, I don't know how old you all are, but I know it's going to be hard to be a king at 8. I can remember when I was 8. And there's no way I would have been able to rule a country when I was 8. But that's another story. Okay, so I have a picture right here I wanted to share with you. Look at this. Now, who do you think this is? That is Josiah. And what is that on his head? Looks like probably some kind of crown like this. And what do you think is that book he's reading? It's called the Book of the Law, which was lost for years and now was found. So remember who found it? The priest who? Hilkiah. And look at all these people. Look at that beautiful mountain. And what does that say up there? It says, the boy King Josiah. So he is who we are learning today. Okay? So we have 2 more sections to complete the 5 sections that our diocese wants us to learn about. So we will be doing that in the next couple of weeks, God willing. And so I want you to remember always, my dear little precious angels, that God loves you. You are worthy of love. You are cared for. You are worthy of everything good. So God loves you. Always pray. Don't let a day go by without saying hi to God, saying a couple of prayers, or maybe a lot of prayers. Okay? So, till next time, God willing, I will see you next week. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, one God. Amen. Till next time.